Today's video is something a little bit different for my channel. The Red Goddess. Could the Scarlet Witch be the Red Goddess? Alright. Who is the Red Goddess, first and foremost? Babalon. She is an archetypal goddess found in Thelema, which was coined by Aleister Crowley. She's said to represent an aspect of the divine feminine. As Thelema has more than one goddess incorporated into it, Babalon is but one, and therefore she is but one aspect of the divine feminine as a whole. She is the divine sexual energy. She is the primordial chaos that births life. She is new ideas and new thought forms, new emotions and energy and feelings. And for me, I am not part of this religion, but from the writings I've read and the experiences I've personally had, it is said that some women can embody her on earth. Crowley himself named several that had union with her. And it was said to be a sacred union in Thelema, and magical rituals were and still are performed to this day around that. Now you could say that Babalon as a goddess is based upon the whore of Babalon, the character which is found in Abrahamic religions, a parody version of women. That's who the whore of Babalon is. She is said to ride on top of a beast with several heads and drink from a cup of abominations. And the cup is said to be filled with the blood of saints. And she is essentially a she-devil. Crowley himself named her divine counterpart the beast. The beast. Basically the masculine to her feminine, and he himself felt he embodied that side of things. Now, as much as I'm not a huge Crowley fan, he was onto something with this archetypal energy. And I myself work with Lilith, and I have done for many years at this point, and recently Babalon herself, as the manifestation of that goddess, of that archetype, has come to me in my life. And you could say as well that Babalon and Lilith are one and the same in that regard. And in my practice as a witch, I have worked with her sisters, Lilith's sisters, Asheth, the Grat, the Ma, who are all in their own way said to be demons of prostitution and the like. But from my experience and from my personal gnosis, it's like I said about the whore of Babalon, a parody against women. It really is. Because of course, if a woman wants to sleep around, she's a whore. But if a man does it, he would be championed. And this leads me on to the video. With that being said, Babalon is a symbol of the feminine, of chaos, of rebirth, of the forbidden parts of being a woman. She's scapegoated, she is ridiculed, and she's judged. Which begs the question, is the Scarlet Witch a representation of this? Let's get into it. If you're new here, hi, welcome, I'm Sarah, that divination witch. If you're not new here, welcome back. This channel is a witchy safe space where you can ask questions. We talk about all things witchcraft, paganism, occult, esoteric, spiritual, everything in between. Ask questions, nothing silly. Everyone's different and we all start somewhere, and I encourage people to help each other and be basically nice in the comments. And if you like that vibe, you know what to do. Stick around, hit subscribe. And if you do want to support the channel further, I offer readings. It's all linked below. I've also got Patreon. I'm teaching tarot. And this year, we're on the year of the Dark Goddess. So we're embracing our divine feminine, unapologetically stepping into our power. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. Thanks. In a previous video, which I'm going to link it below to give you some context on why I'm doing this video, I talked about hypersigils. And in a nutshell, to quickly explain them here, if you don't want to watch the video or if you haven't, In their very basic form, they're a representation of the spiritual in a piece of artwork of any variety that can be en masse or individual. Since my own spiritual awakening around 7 years ago, the more knowledge I've gained in the world of esoteric and occult circles and knowledge and blah blah blah, the more synchronicities that I have found. Some are blatant and obvious, like a god or a goddess or something appearing in a form of fiction. So Lilith's a good example of that. She's in the Diablo games. She's also in like the Sabrina TV show, things like that. Some are not so obvious though. Now, I've been asked to do a series for a long time, and I've been putting it off. The series, it was talking about representations of like Hecate and Lilith, etc. in media, like I mentioned there about Lilith. I've been putting it off because I wasn't sure how it was going to go down. But my deities, my spirits have told me to follow my gut, my intuition when it comes to my uploads and videos. And that's what I'm doing. And I've been led to speak about this by them as well now. And so this might become a bit of a series on the channel where we speak about fiction in this regard to point things out to you all. Okay, they want me to do this, right? Now, at the minute, the reason Scarlet Witches came up is because A, I've always worked with Lilith. B, Babalon's around me right now. And C, I've got an obsession with Agatha all along. I really do. I bloody love that TV show. And I have a bit of a crush on Catherine Hahn. I can't help it. Agatha, I love you. And I love you, Catherine, too. Hi. If you ever watch this, which I highly doubt. But hello. So, with that in mind, I'm a nerd. And I've got a bit of a obsession with it. Well, not full-blown obsession. You know, I've got a life. But I really enjoy it, okay? And I really enjoy it outside of my crush on Catherine Hahn, because Agatha all along is an unapologetic witchy TV show. And yeah, all right, it's made by Marvel and Disney and whatnot, but whatever. We know they can be problematic, right? We're not going to get political. It's all about symbolism. It's all about enjoying ourselves on this channel. So, with that in mind, right, it's not escaped my attention that there is a lot of symbolism and nuances in that TV show and beyond. There are so many things out there. And growing up, yep, I was always a bit of a nerd. You can tell by some of my tattoos, you know. I like comic books, I like mangas, I like games, I like all sorts of things. You know, right now, I don't have time. I still like it, don't get me wrong. There's part of me that will always like these things, but I just don't have time. I'm busy doing other stuff, you know. So I haven't kept up with the comics in a long time. Used to be a big X-Men fan, so I always knew who Wanda was before the MCU. But I've just lost track of the comics. So what I'm going to be doing is basing this on the Scarlet Witch in the MCU, right? So with that being the case, I just want to say that we're focusing on the MCU Wanda Maximoff, but it kind of makes sense to do that anyways because it's more mainstream. And if any spiritual meaning wanted to come through, any higher power, anything like that, well, it wants to get out to as many people as possible. So it's going to be going to the mainstream more, you know, to popular things. So it kind of makes sense that we're focusing on this. So let me get finally to the meat and potatoes, as some people would say. Scarlet Witch.
This whole little life you've made. This is chaos magic, Wanda. And that makes you the Scarlet Witch.
In WandaVision, which is a Marvel TV show, if you don't know, it's centered around her. Agatha goes after Wanda. Wait, let me pause a sec. Spoilers, if you don't know anything about this and you want to know, there's going to be loads of spoilers, right? If you're not bothered, keep listening. Right, so in WandaVision, a witch called Agatha goes after Wanda because of something called the Darkhold and her own obsession for power, meaning Agatha's obsession for power. Wanda is a naturally gifted and talented witch, but she's not aware that she's a witch at that point in time. It's Agatha that points out who she is and that her magic is chaos magic. And the whole concept of WandaVision is chaos magic. Now, Wanda's backstory: she's from an impoverished family in a war-torn country. Her and her brother have superpowers, and her only escape from reality in this time is cheesy TV shows and sitcoms. And that's the whole plot of WandaVision. If you don't know, it's centered around that, okay? She and her brother basically go through hell and back trying to understand their powers, and they join forces with the bad guys at first without fully understanding the implications of what they're doing. They join something called Hydra, which in Marvel Universe, cinematic and not, they're basically the bad guys, the anti-Avengers, you could say. And the logo of Hydra isn't lost on me either, because it's a squid-looking skull thing. Obviously, the name comes from the Greek mythology, the Hydra, the dragon serpent type thing, which if you cut its head off, several more grow in its place. It's never-ending kind of thing. And honestly, it reminded me of a couple of things. Wettigo, if you don't know, which is nasty, parasitey things, which would make sense because these are the bad guys. Go check out my Wettigo playlist. But it also made me think of Babalon and the Beast. So Babalon is said to ride the Beast. The Beast has several heads and it looks a bit like a Hydra. Made me think of that. But essentially for Wanda, after going through lots of turmoil, finding out the truth of things, her brother pegs it. Poor guy, poor Pietro, he dies. And Wanda enrolls with the Avengers, so she becomes a superhero after this. Now, around this time, a character called Vision is created. And he's also part of the Avengers. And Wanda was there to witness his creation because he's not a human being. He's like an android thing. And basically this bad guy from the movies was called Ultron, which was like this AI android that Tony Stark or Iron Man created, and he went rogue, tried to kill everyone. Tony Stark and co. use bits of the bad guy, Ultron, to create Vision, the good sentient being. And Vision joins the Avengers as well. He also saves Wanda from a near-death experience, and that's where their bond starts. It's like a trauma bond. And then she and Vision fall in love. And then, further down the line, a couple of movies later, Vision is killed as well. Poor guy. So, to me, Vision is a true allegory of the Beast, because he's not a man, and he's not a man. It's hard to say. Basically, he is an abomination. He shouldn't really be. And thus Wanda, being a lover of the abomination, just like Babalon is, it fits. And after these events is where it gets interesting. The whole plot of WandaVision happens. In Wanda's grief, she creates her own reality with her powers. And her powers literally go haywire because of her grief. It allows her to control the minds of other people, to manipulate them, and to manipulate the appearance of reality, and to create spontaneous life. In the time of the show, she creates a cute little family scenario for herself and Vision. And she goes through different sitcom tropes through the decades because of her trauma, like I said. And she forces people of a town called Westview to act along with it, and they can't stop it. She creates Vision again and 2 children that are spontaneously created from her power. And during the course of the TV show, her power expands and shifts and basically goes kind of out of control. Now, Agatha Harkness, the other witch that I've got an obsession with, she wants to use Wanda for her power, so she's tracked her down and infiltrates this situation. So, to me, this symbolises the messy side of being a woman, which is what Babalon or the Red Goddess is. It's who Lilith is. The female that is harmed, the female that is scorned, that she is so hurt she lashes out without always meaning to. From such pure emotion, new life is created, and from chaos, there is order. Now, eventually, in the TV show, Agatha reveals herself to Wanda and tells her that, Wanda, you're the Scarlet Witch. And she basically info dumps on her and takes her through all her traumas and all this stuff. But again, even Agatha underestimates Wanda's power. And Agatha ends up trapped in Wanda's spell.
You're gonna need me.
If I do, I know where to find you.
Wait. Hiya, hun.
Now, after this, Wanda goes off the rails. So this is where it follows up in, if you want to watch the movie, it's called Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, okay? But when she was going off the rails and when she started that, if you ever watch the movie, Wanda is very much an outcast at that point, and it really felt like Lilith energy to me. It's like how Lilith is outcast from the Garden of Eden and she's forced to be alone and exiled. Now in Wanda's case, she starts searching different worlds and alternative dimensions, hence the multiverse, searching for her children, her made-up children that she created out of pure magic, out of nothing, out of chaos. And she claws at any way to get to these kids. And she's just desperate to see her kids, like any mother would be, you know. And Lilith herself, if we look at her, she is said to create demon children. If we're going by Jewish folklore, obviously, it's said that she steals the seed of men to create them, and that she too walks the worlds to do this. So Wanda, just like Lilith and Babalon, is an archetype that she shares with them. And she shares this in common with them because they are no longer classed as human. They are parodies of women. They are parodies of human. They are no longer ordinary women. They're evil, they're dangerous, and they've got to be stopped. That's the way they're supposed to be, you know. And in Wanda's case, long story short, she realises she's gone too far. And for the time being, at least, because it is the MCU and who knows what's going to happen in the future, she basically ends her life and takes this dark hold with her, which is basically the evil influence with her. So to me, this also sums up that archetype of the Red Goddess, that yes, she, meaning Babalon, Lilith, Wanda, whoever, is capable of these things. Because when a woman is hurt or punished, she too can be bad. She too can be selfish, can manipulate people. However, from such things can also come good. Can come life, can come creation, divine rage and anger. From that can even come realization, empathy and forgiveness. Another good example of that is Sekhmet, who was born of rage and bloodlust and went on a killing spree only to change her ways. Very Wanda of her, or very Sekhmet of Wanda. Lilith, she is one of my main goddesses, and it's been at least 6 years of working with her. And in that time, from my personal experience with Lilith, I've never ever been encouraged to purposely hurt anybody or be spiteful on purpose in any kind of way. And I certainly haven't been a seductress. In that time, no. I found power, my own power that was already there and I didn't realise it. And I found my own confidence and I found strength. I've set up boundaries and I've upheld them. And I've stepped into that power and I'm on the path of self-mastery. And I can't say that I've created a life spontaneously, but I have created what I have so far. And what I have so far is what I've manifested and have been working on and building upon. And that is this channel and my own independent spiritual business. So in that way, that is my creation. So the Red Goddess is inside of every woman. She is not wholly evil, because good and evil are not clear-cut, just like Wanda. Wanda as a character is beloved by many, And she isn't wholly evil. She's been a superhero and she's also been a super villain. She's complex, she's multifaceted, she is a woman. And that, my friends, is that. Wanda Maximoff, the Red Goddess. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, if you made it this far, you know what to do. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Is there any other characters that you can think of that make you think of a deity or something magical or spiritual? Or, if you haven't got one in mind, put your favourite MCU character in the comments below. I am interested because I am obsessed with Agatha right now. That's my favourite at the moment. I'm going to do more videos like this. I have one in mind already. And yeah. What was I going to say? It's gone out my head. I've had a mind fart. Yeah, until next time. I don't know what I was going to say. So until next time. Mwah. Stay safe, stay witchy. Bye, loves.